Tom, thank you very much for the ride, sir.
Welcome.
All right. Hi, folks. Jim Hamill here in downtown Jim Thorpe, and we're going to show you a different side of Jim Thorpe right now. The Stabin Museum, all the way up here on West Broadway, is such an amazing spot to check out with its own cafe, art gallery, and so much more. So let's go inside, meet the artist and his wife, and check it out.
I lived in New York for 48 years. I came to Jim Thorpe when I switched gears between the two careers. Started out as an illustrator, which involved painting every day. And now I'm a painter, which involves painting every day.
Lucky for Jim Thorpe, Victor Stabin found this 16,000 square foot factory, once used to make wire rope for the Brooklyn Bridge. Now an eclectic space for Stabin's art and his studio.
Every time I walk into this room, I pinch myself. And the reason why I pinch myself is because I had a 420 square foot apartment that I lived and worked in. This is 2,500 square feet. And having space helps you with your creativity. Having a lower overhead helps you with your creativity.
Stabin's found his home here on West Broadway, by day retooling this historic building, and by night and late night manifesting works like Pearls Before Slime in his studio.
Also, I'll show you my easel first. So my easel goes up and down, and it turns around, and it makes it easy to get all over the canvas without bending down on the floor or standing on a bunch of steps.
Stabin's work speaks for itself. There's the Kiss album cover from 1980, and the ABC book for the ages, the Idol Doodle, derived from the dictionary's most obscure words and depicted in the way Stabin's artistic mind conjures them.
I went from painting to making this ABC book, back to painting, this building, and then so many people came in here and saw the characters in the ABC book that they said, what are the stories? So I said, I'm not a writer, but enough people throw peanuts at you, you become an elephant.
The museum is expansive, rooms full of Stabin's work and quirk, and then discoveries behind every wall.
I didn't have a doorway, I had this secret shelf, right? And this is the way I would get from my studio into the rest of the building. Of course, some people knew about it, but a lot of people didn't. And so when I moved upstairs, this room became initially a gallery space, and then about 15 minutes after we had a gallery space concept, my daughter gave a concert because we had a piano that fit in this room, and she sold the place out, and we decided to have a jazz venue.
Not only is jazz a mainstay here at the Stabin Museum, but so are the culinary arts. A fine pairing with Stabin's wife, Joan Morkin, and the creative mind of Chef John.
Victor and I have an incredible synergy in terms of his aesthetic, the artwork. There is nothing that he creates, puts in this space that he is not immensely proud of, from doors to railing to the artwork, of course, in the gallery. And for me, I find it to be this incredible experience to create a lot of the wonderful dishes in conjunction with our terrific kitchen staff.
Nearly 2 decades in, Victor and Joan have poured their lives into making this historic property work. Right down to the stools Stabin is sitting on, to the glass viewing box over the creek that goes directly under the cafe.
We bought the building. It was a complete and utter disaster. It had been a series of different factories over the years, and the last factory that was here was a toy factory. It was shuttered in around 1999.
I work on the building during the day. I'm like the head of construction. I'm the last word because I'm paying for everything. I make certain things, but I work with a lot of talented people.
And remember that free ride? The Stabin Museum even has its own neighborhood electric vehicle, or NEV, to transport visitors from downtown Jim Thorpe right to the museum's doorsteps.
We recently got a neighborhood electric vehicle, which is really just a fancy name for kind of this sporty electric golf cart. And we are providing a free shuttle to people if they want to give us a call and get a ride to the museum and the restaurant. We are absolutely happy to pick them up completely free.
We're the only museum that has one probably in the world. If you're out there and you own a museum and I've just offended you because you have an NEV, call me up.
Victor Stabin is very big on Jim Thorpe's bona fides and how all this he's created with his family and confidants fits into the bigger picture, or shall we say, the broader brushstrokes.
Tourism has come back to Jim Thorpe. It's the most substantial part of its revenue that's coming into town, and we're part of it. And when you come to Jim Thorpe, there's a lot of great places to eat. There's the geography of Jim Thorpe with the whitewater rafting, the hiking, and the bicycling, but there's only one museum like this.
The Stabin Museum, Cafe Arielle, and Vic's Jazz Loft, must-visits when in Jim Thorpe, where the artist intends to spend the rest of his days.
I know I'm dying in Jim Thorpe.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if that counts for anything.
Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network.